now let's bring in Peter McGuire, of course, from XM, who joins us now. Pete, always good to have a chat. Okay, so much to talk about in terms of developments, particularly out of the States is concerned. Let's get your reaction and also market reaction of what we've seen as far as also the storming of the Capitol, but of course the Democrats essentially winning control of the Senate.
Well, good morning, Andrew, and good morning, Nadine. Where do you start? Certainly the big picture is what's going to happen as far as I look at it from the energy side of Biden's inauguration, President Biden, and what impact that has to the domestic side as far as US. What happens on a global, I think, global frontier as far as China talks, and where do we position ourselves from the Aussie? So we've got our dollar at 78 at the moment. We've got markets are rallying. They're very, very volatile. And I'm not sure how we play out over the next 24 to 48 hours.
So traders will be, sitting in front of their screens watching every move.
Absolutely.
What sort of stood out to you, Pete, from the trade that happened in the times that the Capitol Hill was being stormed right through to that Democratic blue wave being confirmed? Where was the real action?
Well, I think very much on the currency side and gold, Nadine. Gold's been very, very choppy over the last 6 or 8 hours, down 15, 16, back up. You've got that energy market, just very, very strong growth to the upside since those Saudi numbers came out midweek. And then US dollar continues to be fairly choppy. It's still in that 89.30 to 89.60 sort of handle for the US dollar index. Aussie's at above 78. I think a lot of traders are, having quite a joyful time as far as equities. They've bounced strongly. So, yeah, the markets across Asia are looking, I think it's going to be a green sign today for the majority of them. And then that US dollar, I think further softness there, gold up, and dollar to be made as long as you're watching your screen closely.
Yeah, just in terms of the US dollar, Pete, what sort of pressure are you seeing that in the coming weeks, I guess, assuming we get across to the inauguration, which is in 2 weeks' time, get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're focusing on those policies of Joe Biden.
Well, I think, Andrew, in the short term, you'll be looking at an 88.50 sort of handle, probably over the next week or so, if not sooner. So I think that continuing downdraft as far as US dollar, where it plays out after the Biden administration and the inauguration, I think you might bounce to the upside, a little bit of a relief rally, but I think overall you're going to see a softer dollar over the coming months, so possibly higher for Aussie, back around that 80 mark, and I think that's where the momentum is at the moment.
Okay, so Peter, what else? I mean, we have, again, unfolding COVID crisis around the world. We've got mainland China reporting 63 new COVID cases just yesterday, doubling from a day earlier. We don't pay a lot of attention to the China case count. We're doing quite well here in Australia, but again, you would have to think that once the smoke clears, and hopefully it doesn't get worse in any US major centers, that COVID will be a real focus, and the likely waning of economic activity in the fourth quarter before a potential pickup. Well, at least the Fed thinks there will be a pretty sharp pickup in US economic activity in the second half of the year.
Absolutely. I think, that stimulus leading the rally, but the other side also, you've got big numbers which are very distressing as far as Japan, Nadine. So Tokyo's in a very, very dire situation with an aging population. Also, it's $500 to get a test over there, $500 US. That was confirmed to me yesterday. I spoke to someone in Tokyo. So you can go and get actually at a hospital if you can get in and get a free test, but the majority of people have to pay significantly for a test. So are the numbers real? The next part is, where do we go as far as growth? Yeah, those equity markets are just, onward and upward, and I think there's going to be, continued growth to the upside for the Nikkei, certainly for the US. And it looks like green lights all the way through, probably, dragging Aussie up as well.
All right, Peter, great to get your view. As always, thanks for joining us from XM.
Thanks, Peter.